senses playing tricks on me. Innocence fading in a world that's been hated.
Alex,
Hey,
welcome, my
I
friend.
love the song. I love the song that you started the interview with.
You recognize
Daisy.
it.
Who wrote this?
I think it's somebody who is wearing a purple shirt
Right now?
right now in this podcast. Okay, welcome to the Marvel Talks. Let us
Hi,
welcome
thanks for
our
having me.
viewers. It's a pleasure. Let us
Welcome,
welcome
viewers.
our viewers as well. We have as my guest. I'm very, very happy to have Alex Economou with us on this new Marvel Talks episode. What can I say about Alex? Let me say that Alex is a Cyprus-born singer/songwriter/performer. He is a Berklee College of Music graduate who went on to win the Voice Department Achievement Award, right? Along with a scholarship from Berklee. His first single, called Brighter Day, was released as a #1 song in the Cyprus charts. Is it correct?
It is correct. It was
And
back in the
then-
day when people were actually buying songs.
Real songs. And the song also gave Alex a nomination for the Hollywood Music and Media Awards for the Best Pop Song, 2012, right? Alex worked with some of the biggest names in music in the US and in Greece. And he was also a finalist on the popular talent show, The Voice. I think the first Voice in Greece, right?
Yeah.
He also played the role of Augustine, I think it's Magaldi.
Agustin Magaldi.
Agustin Magaldi in the Evita musical. And you also cooperated with George Theofanous, and you played in Terata 40, that was in Greece. That's quite a diverse portfolio you've got there. Did I miss anything out, Alex?
I think you missed the only one award that I won in 2013, the Best Jazz Artist of the Year from the Artist in Music Awards. I was in Los Angeles. That was something you missed.
That wasn't one to me. That's a really honorable award. So congrats for that as well, Alex.
Thank you so much.
Let me start by asking you, so that I know, how was the lockdown experience for you during the COVID? How did you experience the whole situation, the madness?
It was madness, actually. It was, I don't know how other people reacted to it. At some points, I was very happy doing it. And at some points, and some other points, I was very, it was unpleasant. You know how it is. It doesn't feel very nice being in a lockdown, not being allowed to walk outside of the house. You have to send a message to the government to be, hey, Dali. That's my dog.
Hi, Dali.
At least I had Dali. Dali is my dog. He's amazing. He kept me company during those days. But it's going back to the conversation. It was a time that it actually helped me to sit down, relax, get out of all the craziness of the everyday life, and having the time to think about what do I want to do next, what's the next project, what do we do now, what if the lockdown never stops until you don't know when. So it gave me a lot of time to think. It gave me a lot of time to do things at my house, which I actually enjoy very much doing. And I think it made me relax and realize that life doesn't have to be so fast-paced and so such a routine every day the same thing, we can take our time and do our things and enjoy our lives, because that's the only life we get to live.
Are you mostly an introvert or an extrovert? Where would you place yourself?
Depends on the time period of my life. During this period, I'm an introvert person. I like staying at home. I like cooking. I like playing music. I like writing music. I like spending time, with my dog, with my friends. I don't really like going out a lot this time of my life. It changes every now and then.
Since you mentioned writing music, that was my next question. I've seen that you became creative with your friends during the lockdown, and you wrote a fun and fresh and sort of lockdown inspired song. Am I correct?
Yeah. Truth is, I didn't write that song. Angelos Lambropoulos was the one who wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a very
So
talented friend of mine. It's the first time we worked together.
Yeah.
And it's playing in the background.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So Angelos Lambropoulos wrote it, right?
Angelos Lambropoulos wrote it, and I just sang it, so I didn't have to do a lot of things.
And these are all lockdown shots from the various
lockdown
people.
shots, all of it. Thank God I have amazing friends, and they were all very helpful, and they really had fun with the whole situation. I really wanted to give a very nice and hopeful message outside to the world, that even though we are locked in our houses and we're not allowed to do a lot of stuff, and some people probably they're not enjoying staying at home, I wanted to show that whatever that is going on, we still need to have fun. We still need to enjoy the time we spend home. We still need to sing. We still need to dance. We still need to be happy. And I think the message was given through the video, because my friends did a really good job.
Absolutely. So it's a fantastic song and cooperation. And
thank you so much.
It certainly compensates over the madness. The positivity element of it compensates
exactly
over the madness.
That was the goal.
So it was a successful endeavor. Let's go a bit back in your earlier days. What was it that inspired you, or planted the seed, the music seed, in you when you were young? I mean, at what point in time did you think, I love this, I want to become a musician or a singer, or I want to devote my life to music? What was the pivot? Do you have any recollections of who was the role model, or what was the moment in time that you felt the magic?
See, it was a bit, I don't know. For me, I didn't have anyone in the family that was music related at all. Like nobody even sang a note or played any instruments or anything. I really don't know how it happened. I was very drawn to listening to music, singing. It was back in the day when we actually bought albums, the whole albums that we used to buy. And my parents actually are big fans of music in general. They listen to music a lot. They never sang or anything though. So I had a lot of, influences through different singers and different kinds of music, because my dad was listening to Greek folk music. My mother was listening to, the British pop sound, Beatles, ABBA, Queen. And my brother also was a big inspiration, because he introduced me the more rock, even metal music. I had all these different influences all over the years, and I'm very happy about it, because it actually created what I am today as a musician, all these different influences that I had through listening music from a very, very young age.
It's incredible how every one of us develops and evolves and absorbs everything to become who they are today. I mean, I fully resonate with you, because this is exactly how I also developed my style, if you may, or the music that I like to write and to play and to listen is an amalgamation of my interactions with my friends, with my parents, with my experience at school, and it's incredible. And it may, it's not like, it's not a choice. It's more of an evolution process, I would say.
Exactly, it is an evolution. It is.
And I think in Berklee, because I know quite a few incredibly successful singers, performers, producers coming out of Berklee. And how was the experience? Let me start from that. Studying at Berklee, what was the experience like for you, coming from Cyprus? And
it's Berklee is a whole story. It's I love Berklee. I love what I've become after Berklee, and I love what I did, and what I learned from it. It is very difficult, though, coming from Cyprus. Also it was back in 2007. Music, even though it's not a lot of years ago, I want to believe. Cyprus back then was not so evolved in the music, in the music not industry, in the music department. So you didn't have a lot of choices of learning and opening up to the whole world, because you go there, you go to Berklee, and you meet people that have been working from 5 years old to go to Berklee, and they were reading about it, learning about it, and being exposed to all these different kinds of music and different kinds of
genres
playing music and performing. Exactly. So going there from a small island like Cyprus, and being watching, I remember the first week, the orientation week, they do the orientation week, and they actually show off how good they are, and they're having concerts and having their best singers singing on stage, and having their best musicians playing on stage, and showing you how good of a school it is. And it's good that they do that, because some people get scared of it. Some people are getting,
fired up.
Better. They're fired up, and they want to become these guys and be better than them, and evolve. So I was the guy that actually saw these people on stage, and I was like, what am I doing here?
You felt intimidated.
I felt really intimidated, and I said to myself that moment, I remember saying to myself, either you're going home today, or the next time they're bringing students here to show off, you're going to be on stage singing. So that's what I did.
So you had, how difficult was it? How difficult were the classes and passing through the various grades and graduating from Berklee? Was it a lot of hard work? What was the ingredients of making it? Socializing, meeting people, playing in bands. How did you mature into graduating?
A lot of people ask me this question about, because I also have a lot of students that want to go, they have a dream to go to Berklee, and they're asking me a lot of these kind of questions. Berklee is not a very hard school when it comes to, studying your homework. It's a university that you go there, you learn music, you do a full degree. So if you
Mm.
want to study, you're gonna be a good student. It's simple as that.
It's
Um,
not rocket science.
it's not
It's
rocket science.
doable.
It's
Okay.
music, and if you like what you do, and if you had a small, if you had a background of studying music in the past,
Mm.
doing harmony and all these different things that we have to do to go to the university, it's not that hard. The hard part of going to Berklee is letting yourself go and letting yourself um, become one with all these different qualities of people and music and the diversity that is
Mm.
Berklee. Um, I can tell you that I've learned a lot from my teachers, of course, because
Mm.
they're phenomenal teachers there. But I've learned a lot from my students, from my colleagues, from my, how do you call them? From
Peers.
my peers.
Colleagues, yeah.
Um, because what I said before, there are people that have been learning, have been studying to go to Berklee from 5 years old, and there are all these different people from all around the world,
Mm.
from everywhere, different genres of music, different kinds of music, different ways of singing, a lot of amazing influences.
Was it
Berklee
hard?
is the best. Sorry.
Yeah, is the best. Please go on. Berkeley is the best.
Berklee is the best influence that I had in my life.
I
The
have
best
no doubt.
influence.
I have no doubt. I mean, okay, we will come to that later on about your taste and your performance and how you create and how you write songs and how you perform. Let me take a small step back. How difficult is it to get into Berkeley? Is the bar very high to get into Berkeley?
It is. Um, I think the difficulty of Berklee is getting in the school
Mm.
because the audition counts a lot. It like even if you have the 10,000 degrees that
Mm.
can prove you that you're a good musician and you can go to Berklee, if you go to the audition and you're not what they're looking for, you're not getting in. It's yeah. And I like how it works because anyway, it Berkeley is a small school. It only has during my years there, we were 4,000 students from all over the world. The whole school was 4,000 students. So they have to be picky anyway. Having that in mind, getting in is very hard, but I like the way that they do auditions and that they
Mm.
operate the school because they do it like it's the real business, music business. When I left Berklee, I realized that because I had no idea what music business is. I had no idea what music industry
Mm.
was because before going to Berklee, before actually graduating, Berklee. So after that, I realized that everything in Berklee was working as it is in the real world, and that's a very good way of working there, very good way of studying there because it prepares you for reality. Something I don't think a lot of universities do.
Mm.
I'm not sure though. I'm just saying what I think.
What do you
Assume.
miss more? What do you miss most from from the US, Los Angeles, New York? Can you cherry pick a couple of things that you miss mostly about not being there?
I miss everything about not being there. I miss everything about all the countries that I visited or all the countries that I lived. Because I really get connected to places as I do to people. And I really miss my friends. I really miss the times I had there. I was 19 when I went there, and
Mm.
I left when I was 25. So it was the years that you actually become an actual human being, because before that you're a stupid young kid, and then So
Yeah.
it's a time that you become a man. And I was happy that I lived it there, because with all the difficulties and all the easy parts of living in the US as well, I really enjoyed my time there. And I really loved it there. There's nothing that I would pick and say this I miss more.
Hmm.
I miss everything.
Would you say that the voice chapter, was it like the reason you were, or the excuse you were looking for to leave from the United States
It's
ecosystem?
funny. It's
Can
funny
you share the story?
because
Can you share the story?
I can. I shared it a lot, actually. The past 6 years, that's the story I'm sharing on every interview. It's really funny because I never actually thought of moving to Greece. Never. It was never in my mind. And at that time, I never thought of moving out of the US either. So it was some, I don't remember when it was exactly. I really don't remember when it was exactly. Probably September in 2014. And
Must be, yeah.
a friend of mine, which is a famous singer right now in Greece, I don't know if I can say her name. She came to visit me in New York. She stayed at my place, and she said, "Dude, the Voice is happening in Greece, and you need to go. You need to go." And I'm like, I was in New York for 6 or 7 months back then. And it was a time that, New York is a very difficult city, a very, very difficult city, but it's also an amazing city. So it was a time that I actually could, I actually was booking gigs in New York. I was doing my live shows. I had my guitar player. We were preparing things. I was very happy in New York, and I really didn't want to leave. So I was like, no, I don't want to go. It's okay. Let them do it. And she forced me to to fill up the form, online. And we did it. I wasn't expecting anything. I don't know why. You send a video and you fill up the form. And in like 2 hours, they call me, and it was the producer of the show. And he was like, you're coming to Greece this Friday. And it was Sunday. And like, what do you mean? And it's like, I heard your audition, and we don't have people from America coming to the show, and we really want you to come, and you're coming to audition on Friday for, there's a pre-audition before so I was going for the pre-audition. So I did, and I remember going to Greece for a day. It was, I can't even explain how this can happen, because it's a 15-hour flight to go to Greece, and then a 15-hour flight to go back. So I was actually flying for 2 days and staying for a day in Athens. It was really tiring. I did the audition and left, and I continued my regular life in New York. I never thought about the audition. I never remembered that I actually did the audition. It was, something.
That was before the chair thing. It was
before the chair thing, the producer's audition, the pre-audition.
Yeah.
So I forgot about it totally. I was working, I was doing my thing there. I was very happy. And in 3 months' time, they called me back, and they were like, you passed the pre-audition, and you're going for the blind audition, and you're coming to Greece this Sunday. And it was Friday,
Again,
this is how.
Okay, all right.
This is how it works in Greece. So I went, and I actually left everything in New York, and I said to my roommate, because my roommate owned the place, so I didn't have to actually move anything. It was inside. I left everything there, and I told her, I'm coming back whenever I'm out of the show. I went on the show. I went to the finals, And I left the show and I started working immediately in Greece. I had the universal contract. I had all the things that come with it, with the show. So I couldn't leave, and I actually didn't want to leave because I liked working. I liked being, a bit famous. It was the situation. So I stayed in Greece for the next 6 years, and I just received my luggage, my bags from New York.
Like right now?
2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Wow. So you never
I
went back?
told my roommate to send them.
You never went back?
I never went back. Never went back. I only went back for the first time this last Christmas, which was the first time after 6 years.
New York. Was it New York?
Mm-hmm.
How was it a good experience? A good sort of connecting with the past?
It really was good, but it was also bad because it was like not a day has passed. It was like everything was the same. Because I went there for 15 days, so it was a bit much for vacation. So I had the time to live New York and to actually believe that I still am there and I'm still living there. It's a bit, bittersweet, but it was really nice. I really liked, seeing my friends that I hadn't seen for a while and walking on the streets that I hadn't walked in a while. So I'm very glad I did it. And I was actually hoping after that trip, I was hoping that I would go every now and then. But now I really don't know when this now and then is going to happen.
Coming back to The Voice, Alex, what would you? I mean, I don't know whether your students ask this question. Is it something that you recommend, or you think it's a good thing for young artists to pursue? Are there any pitfalls, any dangers, any risks that, I don't know, maybe you will become, maybe there are negatives that are not evident in participating, let alone winning or becoming a finalist in such a talent show? How do you approach that subject?
So starting with that, whenever a student comes to me and tells me, I want to start working with you because I want to go to The Voice or to whatever else talent show there is now on TV, I tell them, I'm not your teacher. Because I want my students to care about becoming good singers first, and then caring about becoming famous. Because this talent show, reality TV thing is always giving us the idea that I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to have all these people following me and all these people taking pictures. It's all these things that sometimes they can actually make us, feel, wow, that would be amazing. But on the other hand, if you are not, if you don't have a goal for music, and if your goal is becoming famous, I don't support this. I support music first. So having that in mind,
that's very interesting.
I have students that want to go to The Voice, but this came afterwards. We have been working for a couple of years now, and now they want to do this as a the pivot point of becoming of booking better gigs and then being able to be more known to other people. This I can support. So the advice I give to these people, to my students that want to go to talent shows, is that anyone can do this. Anyone can go on a talent show. Just keep your attitude, keep your identity as a musician, as a vocalist, as a singer. And, television is something that can change things and can change people, because it's it's something that you go on, and there are rules that you have to follow. Some people don't know this. It's not a bad thing. It's just
There
that
are
you have to. Sorry.
there are rules while you're in the game or after you
Yeah.
leave the game.
It's
What do you
it's
mean
a
there
TV
are
show. It's a TV show.
Yeah,
So the producers, of course, want to make money out of it. It's not that they care how famous I will become. They care of how famous the show will become, and that's a good thing for them. I'm not saying it as a bad thing. Whoever makes a project wants that project to succeed. But being a singer that has the dream to become famous and sing on big stages and sing with big names and stuff, it makes you forget about the project, and it makes you forget about how you have to follow the rules and how you have to, be on television and do and I don't want to say a lot of things that can sound weird. It's not weird. It's not something scary, and it's not something difficult. It's just that you have to be yourself. You have to follow what your heart tells you, sing your heart out, be the best you can be, and let everything work for you. Don't care about becoming famous. Care about showing who you are and showing your music, showing who you want to be.
That's clear. Last question. Is the voice process of elimination, let's say, do you feel that it's a meritocratic and it's a process that actually promotes the better talents compared to, let's say, X Factor, which is X Factor, maybe it's a different animal and different model, or there are other parameters in play there as to who proceeds, who doesn't proceed? It's a big chapter, this one.
I really don't know what happens on X Factor because I've never been there, but I can tell you about The Voice. I think that the process was very fair of people moving forward because it was people's choice. It wasn't the judge's choice. So whoever the people liked, and of course the singer that the people like is the singer that is going to succeed afterwards, I guess.
Supposedly.
Yeah. So I think it's The Voice worked very how do you say it? Fair towards the singers, because the people chose who they wanted to move forward.
And what about you, Alex? What about you when you have a student who, let's say, her or his voice may not be something special, right? How do you handle this situation? Can a non-talented student be developed into a diamond? How do you approach the coaching situation and your students, your pupils, when they come to you in the assessment? Or
I really believe in people in general, and I really believe that nobody. No, actually, I really believe that everybody can sing and everybody can be a good singer. It really depends on. My theory is that if your ears work well, you can be a good musician. If your ears don't work well, you can train them to work well, and then you can be a good musician. So everybody can be a good musician and a good vocalist. I have had people coming here with no talent, as we call them, and that they're becoming better and better by the time, and they're working. It depends on how much somebody wants it and how much they want to work for it and how much they are willing to give for it. So I believe that anybody who works hard can get very, very good things back.
what are the ingredients of a good vocalist? Good voice. What else?
Good vocalist. Hard work, first of all, a good voice, of course, and emotion. And emotion, I mean, being able to let their selves go on stage, being able to show their whole existence and their whole, soul to the world.
No holding back. No holding back.
No holding back at all. Being vulnerable on stage is the ingredient for the best performer. That's what I tell to my students. You have to not care about anything and anyone. Nobody wants you to fail. Nobody wants you to fail. Everybody wants to see you succeed. If you're on stage and they're coming to see you, then they really want to see you succeed. So succeed on stage. Be on stage and give them everything.
That's the most amazing thing, because like singers, like vocalists, like instrumentalists, or even somebody who is a public speaker, when you go on stage, sometimes you feel like you are in competition with the audience. Like they want
Exactly, and you're intimidated sometimes from them.
Yeah, but if you manage to have that click in your mindset and realize that people are there for you, that's the most magical thing that you can experience. It's just it's the trigger, not the trigger. When did you have that trigger, Alex? When did you have that? When did you have that realization?
You know what? I was lucky enough because when I was a kid, 15 years old, I had this band. I was actually invited by a friend of mine, Nikos Baliakos, who wrote a song back then, Eleni. It's a song that I will remember in my life. He wrote it and he invited me to sing it with him. So we did that, and the song got viral through mobile phones in the schools and everywhere in Cyprus. Everybody knew that song, and we created a band together, and we sang in small places in Paphos and here around here, Limassol, and for some weird reason, I was very loose on stage. I was able to connect with the people, and I was able to speak with them and enjoy being on stage. And that's, I think that this has helped me a lot because I never stopped enjoying being on stage. And I think that when you stop enjoying being on stage, you're not a good performer. You're not. If I really believe that whatever you feel on stage, everybody from the audience can feel it too. So if you're enjoying it, they will enjoy it. If you're bored, they will get bored. If you're not enjoying it, they will not.
Which also gives me a pass to ask about the bread and butter of a musician, let's say, in Cyprus today. How does somebody who wants to make it, who wants to make people listen to his or her music, who wants to succeed in the entertainment industry, survive and thrive in the small economy, in the small industry of Cyprus? Is it possible at all? What kind of compromises you need to do? Too many questions.
As I think Cyprus doesn't have a big music industry, or even doesn't have a music industry at all. So unfortunately, for a musician to make it, he thinks that he has to leave the country and go probably to Greece or anywhere else in the world. It's to make it in Cyprus, I think you just have to work hard and have a band and perform live shows. Live shows are everything in Cyprus. And there are a lot of live shows, and there are a lot of live singers that are amazing in Cyprus. For some weird reasons, people in Cyprus sing really well. So I really think the way to make it and thrive and become somebody in Cyprus is to perform live, a lot of live shows. I really want to change this, though. I really want to make Cyprus a place with music industry. And when I say I mean as musicians, the musicians of Cyprus, should work on creating something in Cyprus that could help actually musicians, because we really have very good, how do you call it? We have very good
First of all,
musicians that can actually become something.
there are great musicians, but even if you take Cyprus as a geographical location, it can become a hub for perhaps bands
Exactly.
coming here to record albums. I don't
From
know,
Israel, from Greece, from everywhere.
it can be an incredible location to bring people from all around the world to get creative,
I
record
really believe that.
albums, do live gigs, do festivals. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a
Festivals
worthy.
would be a great idea. Actually, I have so many thoughts that I really want to make reality, but it takes time, it takes money, it takes work. So I hope someday I will be able to say that I've helped on creating something in the music industry in Cyprus.
That's certainly a really noble mission and an inspiring mission, and it's something that can keep you motivated in the longer term as well. Alex, let me ask you something else about the music
Sorry,
industry.
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm coming back.
Sure.
I'm here.
Cool. So you also worked in Greece in some really high-profile musicals. You worked with George Theofanous. Aside of the life, which is a must for today, for a band, for a singer, what would you say, I mean, in terms of the music creation and production, what is the secret? Because there are some incredibly talented people who write some great songs. And I mean, you are a great songwriter. Some of your songs are incredible. And this is not a compliment. I mean,
Thank you so much.
we can talk about it. But as I'm sure you know very well, I mean, writing an incredible song and producing a great album, I think it's not enough by itself. I think the quality of the song and the album, the music, needs something else to be pushed to the stratosphere. Who are the gatekeepers today, Alex, in the music industry? Is it the record labels? I think those are
Who
wicked.
knows?
No one knows. Is it the DJs on the radio stations? Do you have any idea
Um,
who are the gatekeepers?
that is a very long conversation.
For another
And
podcast.
yeah, definitely, it's not the music labels that are holding the how do you call them?
The key.
Exactly. There was a time that the record labels could actually invest on an artist and make him a superstar and create what we see today, like all the big superstars in Greece that are now superstars, and we can see that now there are no actual superstars in Greece. Everybody can make music, everybody is making music, but no one is actually so big as we've learned in the past. Like if we mention some names like Dalaras, like even Anna Vici, there's no
Super names
such a
today.
not super names anymore. I think it's because there's a rivalry between the different departments in the music industry in Greece, and I think it's all around the world right now. They probably could be a money issue. Probably could be who gets to be credited for the success. I really don't know how it is and how it works. I want to believe that success comes to people with talent, and I want to believe that it really does come to people with talent.
I think that's the
with
right
no other
mindset.
help.
I think that's the correct mindset. But just to share a small story with you, when we released, when I worked with Stereo Soul, remember, and we produced a song, Shine, which was a quite interesting project. Some people approached either Stereo Soul or the producer, our friend Marios, I think, and they told them that, if you want this song to really fly into the stratosphere of the musical establishment, what you can do is you can pay that DJ or that agent some astronomical amount to play the song at peak hours every day on the radio, and thousands.
I wasn't sure if we were going into that. I wasn't sure if we were allowed to go into that detail. But yeah,
We're
if you
allowed, of
say it,
course we're
that's
allowed.
what it is.
So that
Of
matters.
course, there are things that we don't, we're not, saying to public and people don't know about. But there are conversations behind, under the table, and behind the scenes. And of course, money plays a very big role in all this situation. I don't like it, but it does.
But I think the correct way is what you said. I mean, even if you have the money, it doesn't guarantee that you will be promoting good
Exactly.
quality of music, right?
And it doesn't guarantee that the people you are talking with and that they are asking for money are going to do the right job to actually give you the success you are paying for.
And
So
it's
you
a
never
vicious
know. The music industry is a weird world that can be amazing at the same time and also very not amazing.
like demotivating. Sometimes it makes you feel
Exactly.
disappointed.
It makes you feel if you're worth what you think. If do I really belong here? Do I really need to be making music? Why do I still do it? There's being a musician in general is a very hard thing in our days because nothing is sure. Even for big names, nothing is sure. Nothing is easy anymore. People are actually struggling in the music industry, and you can tell because you don't see things happening anymore. You don't see a lot of good music coming out. You don't, it's a bit weird right now.
Alex, how is the creative process for you? You talked about writing music. How do you approach? Do you stumble upon a melody that inspires you to turn it into a fully fledged song? How does the creative process work for you? Have you thought about any patterns? Do you start with lyrics, with music?
Yeah.
How do you approach it?
It again depends on the particular time of my life. When I was in school, when I was studying, I used to write every day. I used to write like I have maybe 1,000 songs written that
Wow.
some
Really?
threw in the trash. Some are still there
Oh
sitting
my God.
and waiting to be improved. It's the process of learning who you are as a songwriter. And that's when I started writing. Actually, I pretended that I started writing in the past when I was in school, like in Cyprus. But I don't consider myself as a songwriter back then. I started actually writing music when I went to college, and through the process, I became who I am as a songwriter today, and I still evolve and I still learn. There's always things to learn in music, even as a vocalist, even as a songwriter. You always learn, and sometimes I start with the lyrics and I add the music on. Sometimes I get lyrics from other people and I write the music on. It depends on the situation. I never after I moved from LA to New York, uh, I'll tell you why. After I moved from LA to New York, I stopped writing music, um, just to write music. I started writing music only when an idea came to my mind, and I realized that, oh, I like this. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna make a song out of it. Before that, I was intentionally, writing music all the time because I wanted to have a lot of song
Idea.
portfolio. Yeah. Um, uh, in Los Angeles, I wrote most of my songs that I am still releasing. I wrote them in Los Angeles because Los Angeles was a very big and different and weird experience for me. I really enjoyed my time there, but I also had, it was a time after I graduated Berkeley. I went to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a world. It's the industry itself. So
Everything is
you
there.
have
Everyone is
everything
there.
is there. So you have to be the industry to be able to make it there. So I had to, it was very weird for me because I jumped in deep water like immediately right after school. So I got intimidated at times. I got very uh, unsafe at times. I felt not worthy at times. So it gave me the opportunity to write some of my most heartfelt songs at the time, and the ones that I really have in my heart and in my mind as the songs that I love that I wrote.
Was sometimes
Because I was expressing my sorry.
sometimes was it one of the songs that's such a beautiful
Sometimes
song.
sometimes was a
Sometimes I
song
run. Sometimes
sometimes was a song that I actually wrote for
yeah.
my life in Los Angeles because it was exactly my feeling. If you read the lyrics, it explains exactly my everyday life.
Such a powerful song, and I mean,
Thank you so much.
without being exposed to the American or the Los Angeles life, I can hardly imagine you have been inspired to write such a song. I mean, it's certainly the product of the of your exposure there, right? And the emotional roller coaster that you were going through.
Exactly that. It was an emotional roller coaster because you really enjoy being there. You really enjoy all the all that's happening there. I also had the I was lucky enough to have a manager back then that was in the industry. He was very, he knew everybody. He would arrange, dinners and meetings with famous people and with famous producers and superstars, and it was this life compared to also the life that I wanted to have and the music that I wanted to make and the music that I was forced to create. And I was, it was I was a bit unbalanced inside my head back then. So I was trying to put balance and to find balance actually, and to put all my feelings into songs to be able to get out of it for a while.
You are a very picky, in a good sense, performer. I've sent you a couple of demos. The only demo that really sparked your attention was Daisy. Can you tell me what was it about that song that sort of attracted your attention and you thought, compared to other things that you've listened to? I'm very curious.
First of all, thank you very much for all the demos that you sent.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Daisy, the first moment I heard Daisy, I liked it, and it's also one of my favorite songs that I have released till now. I remember you sent me, the demo with the piano and everything. It was very different from the one that I actually
Of course.
I actually released. I don't know if you're happy
You,
about that.
you
or not.
Alexized it. You Alexized
I
it.
Alexized it. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
but it's great. It's great. My wife
it
loves
really.
this version. My wife
I'm
loves
glad.
your version. Yeah,
I'm
not the
glad.
demo.
Both versions are very good. It had this thing that I really wanted at that time. It was happy, but also it was very emotional. And because I am this person, I'm very emotional as a person, and I really like having all my feelings in front of everyone and showing all my feelings in front of everyone. And I cannot really hide anything. So I really liked how Daisy could be very emotional and very happy at the same time,
Hopeful and
and
hopeful, I think.
and hopeful. So
Hmm.
it did something in my mind, and that's why I picked it.
It's crazy how the stars aligned and we are having this podcast now because of me sending you that demo. I mean, it's life is so unpredictable, but it's
It is.
in beautiful ways, I would say sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes there it is again. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, and I'm very happy that we worked on Daisy and that we also shared the stage
Thank you.
together, which brings me to the last part
Yay.
of my questions. This is me, the show that
Hmm.
you organized and you produced with really a great taste, great diligence. It was last year, was it? Last year
It was last year, yeah.
in Paphos, and then after the success of the Paphos um, event
Show.
show, you also
Went to
organized the
Nicosia.
show in Nicosia, where I
Hmm.
was very happy to have been invited by you to
Yep.
play Daisy together. What was the greatest takeaway for you from that concert,
Um,
from that experience?
so This Is Me was amazing. It was um it was a spotlight on my career. I'm really glad and I'm really happy that I have people working with me, especially my manager Alex El Sabah. He has been working with me for a while now, for 4 years, and all the credit should go to him actually, for the shows that I'm doing, because he's the creator. I am just the singer. So um, I have all the help I want, and I have all the help I need from the people that are working with me and from the people that are around me. And I'm very happy about this. So This Is Me was a creation of my idea and thought, and Alex's creation. Uh, what I got from it is one of the biggest shows I did in my life, with all the scenery and all the lights and the musicians on stage, and it was exactly as I pictured it and exactly as what I wanted it to be. I really enjoyed being on stage. I loved it. There's nothing else I can say about it. I really, really loved it.
How proud are you when you're looking at these pictures of this incredible event and memory from 1 to 10? How
I'm
proud
glad
are you?
I'm glad we had good photographers taking pictures of the show and
Yeah,
videos.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
A picture worth 1,000 words, indeed. Yeah,
exactly. I'm really proud because as I've been told and as I've witnessed, after a year after, people told me and still tell me that shows like this never happened in Cyprus, and
never.
people
Yeah,
don't pay a lot of attention on creating a show. They just do, small things just to sing, just to perform, or just to make money out of it, which is not a bad thing. Uh, but I really care about creating something that will have and make an impact to the world and will have somebody think of what they have seen and what they have witnessed and how good it was and how music can relate to them and how these kind of music and how these people on stage are giving you something to think about and something to feel about.
How difficult is it to put together such a show? And how much time do you need? Maybe I need to ask Alex.
You should ask Alex about it.
Really?
I know
How much
it's difficult. It takes a lot of time to rehearse. So you need to have I'm lucky enough to have a very good group of musicians with me, and it's really nice working with them. So spending a lot of hours in rehearsal rooms and in studios is a good thing. But you need a lot of rehearsals, a lot of cooperation, and a lot of there has to be a particular way of doing the work for such a project. It's a really big show. You really need to speak with Alex to tell you the exact process. But it takes time. I think we started planning this event, the This Is Me show. We started planning it at least 3 months before it happened. So it takes time with all the, everything it takes time.
One of the memories I have is when we played Daisy, and I began playing the intro on the piano. I was a bit slower in my tempo than you, and for a moment, for a split moment, we were disengaged, and then the drummer very intelligently began playing the hat, and he immediately brought us back to order. And I felt like these guys are really, really professionals. Like they
were trained well. Good kids.
Because I mean, our own rehearsal, come on, it was like it wasn't that significant, because I remember your team in the studio rehearsing again and again. So I remember the pressure. So you actually need to book studios for the rehearsals. It's a whole deal preparing for the.
It is a whole deal. You have to book studios. You have to get the permissions to book the theater or the venue that you're doing the show. You have to book the venue a day before, so you are able to actually put all the scenery, all these things that you see in the background. They were not. They were put by us there. I mean, I didn't have like a team with 20 people.
You actually you took care of everything, like the skinothesia.
Alex did.
Alex did.
Alex did.
Wow. I think Alex is the most valuable player in this project.
He is. He really is.
And Eva, I think Eva came from Greece as well. Eva Chakra.
Yeah.
Eva is sending us messages actually. Let's say a couple of messages. Yeah, let's say a couple of messages. Let me close the.
Can you see them? Because I'm.
Yeah. I'll put it now.
I don't know how to work these things.
We love Alex Economou. It's not a biased comment. Hi, Eva.
Hi, Eva.
From Athens. Natasha.
I love Eva. I love Eva too. Natasha Economou, she's my cousin from Netherlands.
Hi from Netherlands. We have some other nice comments. Some emojis from Christina.
They're all singers, by the way.
Yeah. Stasi is a friend. Hello, Stathis. We love Alex.
Everyone.
Anna Papagostidou.
Yes, Anna.
Eleni Economou. Let me take a guess.
That's my mom.
Hello. Ariana. Hi, Ariana. It's my wife. Daisy, of course. And there we are. I think we came full circle. We are 1 hour and 4 minutes, Alex. I think we're very punctual and professional. Let me ask you if you would like to tell us a few things now about what you do, where we can find you. I know you're very busy with your coaching. I mean, like, you're killing it with your one-on-one coaching, which is good from a
Thank you so much.
business viewpoint. But what are your next plans? I mean, do you plan? Okay, we have the COVID and these limitations. Is there anything in the vicinity? Any new plans, shows, lives?
I actually had a lot of planning a lot of plans for this time of the year, but because of the COVID situation, everything has stopped. So it's not stopped. Actually, it's postponed. So I hopefully every single one of the ideas is gonna happen in the near future. Of course. Oh, hey, I lost you for a second. Of course, shows. Hopefully, something will happen by the end of August, and hopefully something new, recording wise, a new song, maybe a new EP. Something will happen soon.
That sounds exciting. I look forward to staying in touch and seeing what's next for you. I think we are brought to a wrap. We've covered a few interesting topics. Thank you for coming to the show, Alex.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was fun. I really wish you the best for this new thing you started. It's amazing. It's a great idea. Keep on doing it.
It's also a child of COVID. You know, it came out of the COVID, the lockdown. So some good things came out of the situation.
Of course, a lot of good things came out.
And I really hope you to continue creating amazing music and keeping the quality where it is supposed to be. Alex, thank you. Thank you to our viewers as well. Thank you for watching, and we will be back with the next episode soon. Take care. Bye, Alex. Ciao.
Bye-bye.